Welcome to my kitchen. Once again, it's Easter week, and I'm going to share with you a recipe that I've actually never made before. But I keep having things pop up on my Pinterest regarding recipes from Ukraine. Now, I haven't been to Ukraine. We were supposed to be in Kyiv when COVID hit the world, and so of course we didn't go. And now who knows if I will ever get there. But I have met many Ukrainian people. There are several who have immigrated to the area where I live here in Washington State. And the foods of Ukraine are very similar to foods of other Eastern European countries that I've been to. Russia, Bulgaria, Romania, and Poland. And one of the main ingredients of this Ukrainian pancake I'm going to make today is something called farmer's cheese. So for Tasty Tuesday today, we are going to make something called Syrniki. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. The word Syr, S-Y-R, in Ukrainian means cheese. And farmer's cheese is, well, I'm going to describe it sort of the consistency of ricotta. And some of the recipes I looked at for this Syrniki, it called for cottage cheese, but American cottage cheese can be quite watery, and I don't see how this would work. This is quite firm, as you can see, much more like ricotta. It's not maybe as salty as ricotta, has a tiny bit of sweetness to it, but actually it doesn't have a lot of flavor. And I took my pierogi class. We used farmer's cheese for the filling of one of the pierogies we made. So I ordered this online. You can find it in stores in the United States, especially if you live in an area where there are a lot of Eastern European immigrants. But I ordered this online. It came in a refrigerated package. It was about $16 for this, and I got 2 of them, and I can put it in the freezer. So I'm going to make these pancakes, Syrniki, Ukrainian pancakes. They're usually served with a little bit of berry jam or sour cream or both, and I'm actually going to serve them with some apple butter. I'm serving these for some guests we have coming, and then I'm putting some into the freezer, and I can reheat them quickly in a skillet when I want to serve them on Easter. So let's get started. This recipe has very few ingredients. We're starting with the 16 ounces of farmer's cheese. To this, I am adding 1 whole egg, I have a 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, and 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. That's it. That's all the ingredients that we have. I'm going to, just using a spoon, I mean, you could use a mixer, but you don't have to. I'm just going to mix this and make sure I don't have any lumps, get it all incorporated. And if it's runny, you can add a little bit more flour, but I don't think it's going to be. You want to be able to handle it easily with your hands. I'm going to get my hands a little wet and form it into thick pancakes. This is what my mixed dough looks like. The yellow is from the egg yolk. By the way, those were my fresh organic eggs from my friend Dale. But this, it's still quite firm. It's not runny. I should be able to handle it just fine. So I got 8 out of that batch, and which is a little less than I thought. So I probably won't be putting any in the freezer, but I do have the other farmer's cheese package, so I'll probably make some more. But on my stovetop, I have a skillet with about 1 tablespoon of olive oil in it. I've brought it up to medium heat, and now we're gonna cook them on both sides till they're golden brown. Ideally, you want to serve these immediately, but I'm not going to do that today, but we'll certainly taste test. Here we go. Okay, this is actually round 2. My first try didn't go so well, and what I learned was don't skimp on the oil, and also don't have the pan too hot. So hopefully it's going to be better this time. So I learned a few things. First of all, they're very pretty. And these will be great with apple butter and yogurt or sour cream or yogurt. So make sure you don't skimp on the oil. And I think vegetable oil is better than olive oil. Olive oil just gets too smoky. Also, I had the heat for the first batch too high and the second batch just on a medium low, and that was much better. And I found using a spatula to flip them, because they're pretty soft, I used a spatula with slits in it, which was better than a solid spatula. So those are my tips. Here it is, Syrniki. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is a Ukrainian pancake. I'm serving these to my guests, and we're gonna have more on Easter. Happy Easter, everyone. By the way, we are going out of town. We'll be traveling for 3 months. I'm not sure how often I will do a Tasty Tuesday, but I'll do one when I can. See you then.